decision?
It's very hard. There's two sides to the argument. It's something that happens on the flat quite regularly. It hasn't happened jumping very often, but it does seem to be coming in now. There's a lot of money at stake, a lot of prestige. It's very, very hard on Phil Tuck. I'm sure that the trainer it wasn't her decision, but owners pay the bills.
Seems especially hard when not only had he won the Gold Cup on the horse, but also he looked after the horse first time when he wasn't 100% fed.
Exactly, and that's this sort of association that jockeys and horses come together to preparation races for these big occasions. They're very important. It's just as important as the training of the horse.
Well, of course, it's nothing to do with the horse, who is a marvellous champion, but he's carrying 12 stone in what must be very, very searching conditions indeed. Only Arkle and Millhouse have won with 12 stone. Can he do it?
He'd be a good name to add to those two. I don't think he's really got quite the class that they had. It's an awful lot of weight to carry today in this ground. John Franklin will undoubtedly save every single bit of energy and ground. If he doesn't make any of the mistakes that he's made in the last couple of races, he'll certainly be the one they've all got to beat.
Well, let's move on down the list now to the second top weight. That's Drumlagen, third in the Gold Cup, who showed his liking for these type of conditions with a terrific performance under top weight in the Ladbroke Grand National Trial at Punchestown this spring.
And a great big cheer goes up as Drumlagen comes to challenge, but it's Felicitous Pet on this side. Drumlagen hits the front in the centre, your man on the far side. Drumlagen in the centre, Felicitous Pet, your man. Drumlagen with your man coming back at him. 100 yards left to run. It's Drumlagen from your man. Drumlagen's going to win it and land the gamble. At the line, Drumlagen's the winner. Your man is second. Felicitous Pet is...
Well, Bill, the ground's in his favour. He's in good form. He always seems to run well in England, but he does seem to have had a rather complicated journey.
He has. It's not the ideal preparation to be stuck on airports waiting for planes to come and pick you up. However, from what I hear, it was the connection to the horse that got in the flat more than the horse. I think he was pretty cool and calm about it.
And the horse himself at his best, a good chance?
He is. He's a very good, very dark, staying chaser. He's no flamboyant, sparkling speed merchant, but he does stay very, very well, and he'll love this ground.
Well, next on the card, of course, is the Fuke Woolwyn horse. That is Everett, ridden by Stuart Chilston, bought specifically to win this race, a mudder and a strong finisher, as he showed at Cheltenham early this spring. Greenwood Lad is running on, as is Another Breeze, and Donzabro on the outside, and Mary Venture coming back as they come to the last. Everett over, Everett from Greenwood Lad, Another Breeze, Mary Venture on the far side, but it's Everett holding on from Mary Venture on the far side. Greenwood Lad's got no more to give. Everett from Mary Venture, Everett from Mary Venture with 50 yards to run. Everett's holding on. Everett's going to win it at the line. Everett wins, Mary Venture second, Greenwood Lad third. Bill, is Everett the right type of horse for this race, do you think?
He's another Dar stayer. The further he goes, the better he goes. He is inclined to make mistakes under pressure, though, and that doesn't win Hennessy's.
Well, of course, he was a big fancy for this race last year, as you know, when he came to the second last with seemingly every chance before he came to grief then.
Yes, here he is. He just crumbles up and goes down. He didn't really hit the fence that hard. He was under a lot of pressure from sort of 3-4 out. Very debatable whether he'd have won or not. He certainly would have given the winner a bit of a race, and of course left on his own. Brown Chamberlain won easily.
Well, that was out of the fall, but it doesn't seem to have affected his confidence at all.
No, he doesn't seem to mind hitting fences. It's just a question, really, if he can get away without making any mistakes. I'm not so sure whether he'd really love the soft ground, though. I think he dislikes a little bit better ground than this.
Right, back to today's card, and the next one on the list is, of course, the Gay Chance, out of Sam Moorehead. He finished second last year. But later he lost his confidence, so that Mercy Rhyme will put him back to racing over hurdles, a move that led to success at the Cheltenham Festival.
Daring Run on the inside, Gay Chance on the far side. Gay Chance on the far side, Daring Run on the near side, the better jump by Daring Run. Gold Spun is coming back into the picture on the near side, and it's Daring Run, Gold Spun and Gay Chance. They race into the closing stages. Gay Chance on the far side, Gold Spun on the near side as they race up towards the hill. Gay Chance is just holding them, and at the line, Gay Chance has won it, and Gold Spun is second, and Daring Run is third, and it's a bit of a fault.
A very game performance, that. But, Bill, is he a good enough jumper of fences to win a Hennessy?
Everything will have to go absolutely right. There'll have to be no ifs and buts. It'll have to be spot on. He had a super race at Hereford that got his confidence right back on form. When he was second in this race last year, he hadn't had a run. So he's arrived with all the right preparation. It just needs to have everything go well for him in the race itself.
Right, well, next in the weight, Canny Danny, the mount of Peter Scudamore now, So in Tulloboy, Tom Holbrook, and Tracy's Special, Steve Knight. And Canny Danny and Tracy Special featured in what could be one of the key races in finding today's winner. This spring's Whitbread Trial Chase at Ascot. Tracy Special and Steve Knight, Canny Danny and Mark Dwyer at the last. Tracy Special jumps it in front. From Canny Danny second, they're clear of Gritar and another breeze. And on the run in it's Tracy Special. Canny Danny coming to challenge him. 50 yards left to run. Tracy Special holding on, but Canny Danny's closing as they get the line. Tracy Special just on the line from Canny Danny. But today, Canny Danny meets the winner on £9 better terms, and of course he'll have the ground to suit him today. It was just about good ground there at Ascot. Which of those two do you prefer, Bill?
I actually prefer Tracy Special, though, as you say, the handicapper has given Canny Danny every chance to turn the tables. I just feel that Tracy Special last year improved all the time. If he kept on making that improvement, he'll have made enough to beat Canny Danny. And Canny Danny he wasn't what I call winning last year, and he had a very hard race in the Sun Alliance at the end of the season before.
In conditions very similar to today, of course.
Yes, he certainly won't mind the ground, and he'll be a battler, but I just feel Tracy Special might have that little bit on him.
Right, and so on down the list, and we come to Lucky Vane, the mount of Johnny Burke. 14ers Express now, ridden by Ken Jones. And 14ers Express laid his claim with the defeat of Borough Hill Lad in the Standard Life Handicap chase at Cheltenham 2 weeks ago.
It's Don Sabur in the lead from 14ers Express coming there strongly on the near side. Borough Hill Lad, the Gold Cup winner, over on the far side. 14ers Express travelling very strongly on the near side, lands just in the lead, and it's now 14ers Express towards the near side from Don Sabur as they race into the closing stages, and 14ers Express going away from Don Sabur as they race up towards the line. 14ers Express wins it very cleverly. Second is Don Sabur. Third is...
And today, with Kevin Jones replacing Paul Ridley Lamb, who was concussed in a fall yesterday, he meets Borough Hill Lad on £2 better terms. But, of course, Borough Hill Lad would come on from that race, Bill.
Yes, I'm sure there was a lot of improvement in him that day. He's gone on to win at Wincanton since, and I'm sure the Borough Hill Lad today will be an awful lot fitter. And 14ers Express will definitely have to pull out all the stops, which he doesn't like doing, if he's going to beat him today.
Really bad ground like this would hardly suit a horse with 14ers Express, well, old attitude to racing anyway.
No, because you have to arrive at the last on the bridle, and if he does that today, he'll have to be a very good horse, because there won't be many on the bridle between the last two today.
Yeah. Right, well, a final check on the remaining runners on the list. Number 11, Earlsbrig, the Hunter Chaser from the north, one with a real chance out, I think. Number 12, Phil the Fluter, Kumbai, representing Ginger McCain, and number 16, Cobley Express, the rank outsider of the whole lot, the mount of Colin Brown. Well, final thoughts on the race, Bill.
I think Borough Hill Lad is the one they've all got to beat, but if the weight's going to go against him, I think Tracy Special will just about catch him on the line.
Well, Bill, thank you very much for those comments.
Unique, a whole match live. Right now, it's to Newbury, the big race of the day, the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup, runners and riders from Peter O'Sullivan.
And the 13 runners headed by the top weight. Number 1, Borough Hill Lad, ridden by John Frankham. 2, Drumlargan, Frank Clark. 3, Everett, Stuart Shilston. 4, Gay Chance, Sam Moorshead. 5, Canny Danny, Peter Scudamore. 6, Untulla Boy, Mr. Tim Holbrook. 7, Tracy Special, Steve Knight. 8, Lucky Vane, John Burke. 10, 14ers Express, Kevin Jones. 11, Earlsbrig, Mr. Peter Craggs. 12, Phil the Fluter, Steve Youlden. 14, Cumbie, ridden by Kevin Doolan, and 16 is Cobbler's Express, ridden by Colin Brown. The first we see, the top weight, Borough Hill Lad, as we join them with Richard Pitt.
Yes, and this long parade over now, it does sometimes upset horses, but in fact, it doesn't seem to have affected Borough Hill Lad. What a fine specimen of a chaser he is. And just think that a year ago, he was running off 10 stone 5 in the Coral Welsh National. What a good thing he must have been, and in fact was. Well, he went on, as you've seen, and you probably know, to win the Cheltenham Gold Cup at level weights with the best of the chasers. And he's here today trying to give weight away to all the rest of them. He, in fact, is the first reigning Gold Cup horse to go for the Hennessy in the same year since Lescargo in 71, and he finished 6th. But this horse, I think, will finish a lot nearer than that. Let's see how they bet.
And Borough Hill Lad is the favourite, but it is going out. It opened at 3s, went to 11 to 4, is now 7 to 2. Drumlargan, 5 to 1. Everett, 6 to 1. Canny Danny and Earlsbrig are on 13 to 2. Gay Chance, 8 to 1. Tracy Special, 10s. Lucky Vane, 12 to 1. 14ers Express, 14 to 1. Phil the Fluter, 33 to 1. Swantula Boy 50 to 1. Cumby is on 66 to 1, and Cobley Express is 100 to 1.
So there is the second favourite, Drumlagen, in different colours. You're not used to seeing him in these light colours, but he's now owned by Mrs. Georgina Bronfman, Susan Sangster, and the American bloodstock agent Kerry Fitzpatrick. Well, he fell at Limerick first time out this season. You can see Frank Codd in the saddle there. But I do know that John Frankham had been contacted with a view to the possibility of him riding this horse in this race. Frank had got a bit of flu, but I saw him before racing. He said, sure, it wasn't enough to stop me today if the horse is good enough. So, we'll see. Well, Drumlagen won at 20 to 1 last time out. Looks as if it was a bit of surprise, but he loves the mud. He was third in the Gold Cup, remember, and is slightly better off in the weight. So Drumlagen, not one to be ruled out. There is Everett in the background, little white face. In fact, we'll pick him up. There he comes. That's Everett, being trotted round to keep him warm. Remember, a lot of these jumpers are actually clipped at this time of year in the grey colours, the red hoop, and running for the sponsoring firm of the Hennessy's, and this one running in the colours of Killian Hennessy. Stuart Shilston in the saddle, and how close would he have gone last year if he hadn't fallen 2 out? Well, nobody knows, but perhaps he'll tell us today. I think the ground might be a little bit too soft, and he's a 6 to 1 shot at the moment. That's Phil the Fluter, number 12, but he looks out of it. But there's 10. 14 is Express, that's fancied. Winner of his only 3, Kevin Jones rides him, and what bad luck for Ridley Lamb, who's been pounding up the beaches at sea houses to lose weight. Had flu last weekend and now concussion yesterday. Kevin Jones gets the ride, and this one will come late. 14 is Express, 14 to 1 shot. There's Canny Danny in the stripes, the big black chaser, and he wants it soft, but he's only had 1 run, and a very hard horse to get fit for 1 run under his belt. Trained by Jimmy Fitzgerald, who's already had 1 setback today with Forgive and Forget getting beaten up at Ayr. Peter Scudamore in the saddle, 13 to 2 shot at the moment. He stays and he jumps. If this one's mother actually was seen in shafts when it was younger. Gay Chance next to us. They're under orders for the Hennessy. Let's join Peter.
And they're running. Gay Chance, the first to show, from Phil the Fluter and Drumlagen, and Everett on the inside. Canny Danny, Tracy Special, and Cumby as they come to the first. First of the 21 fences. Gay Chance lands in the lead, and they're all safely over the first. Now racing towards the first ditch. Gay Chance with Canny Danny on the inside, then Phil the Fluter and Everett and Tracy Special and Drumlagen and Cumby, and behind them Earl's Brig. Then comes Barrow Hill Lad and Lucky Vane, Suntilla Boy, and the back markers at the moment are Cobley Express and Fortina's Express. Coming to the third. Gay Chance, Canny Danny and Phil the Fluter. Phil the Fluter landed just in the lead from Canny Danny on the inside, and Cumby going up to join Gay Chance with Drumlagen there. Very close, Earl's Brig and Tracy Special and Everett close behind him as they jump the fourth, and then Barrow Hill Lad. Behind these come Lucky Vane and Suntilla Boy and Fortina's Express and Cobley Express as they come to the next. This will be the fifth. Gay Chance and Canny Danny, with between these two, Phil the Fluter. Right up with them is Cumby. Then comes Everett, Barrow Hill Lad on the inside, Earl's Brig and Drumlagen on the far side, Tracy Special in behind them with Suntilla Boy next, and then Lucky Vane as they race towards the cross fence. Number 6, Gay Chance in the lead from Canny Danny and Phil the Fluter together, and then Everett, and then Cumby, and then Drumlagen. Then comes Earl's Brig. Then Barrow Hill Lad and Tracy's Special and Fortina's Express, Cobley Express, Suntilla Boy as they swing for home on the first circuit. Lucky Vane just the back marker. Coming towards the seventh now. It's a ditch after this. Gay Chance nearest to us. Canny Danny on the far side. Phil the Fluter between horses. Gay Chance to the near side. Over on the far side, the sheepskin nose band Canny Danny. Between horses, Phil the Fluter. Cumby was just in behind them. Barrow Hill Lad's right over on the far rail. Everett's close to the lead, and then comes Earl's Brig and Drumlagen, and then Tracy Special. Second ditch this. Gay Chance from Canny Danny, and Earl's Brig a faller there. Ellsbrigger's gone. He's continuing riderless. Peter Craggs has yet to get to his feet. Coming to the 9th. He's up on his feet, Peter Craggs. Kenny Danny there from Phil the Fluter. Everett, Gay Chance. Then Cumbie, Tracy's Special and Drumlargan and Barra Hill Lad. A gap then to 14's Express and Lucky Vane. Sontilla Boy, and then comes Cobbly's Express over the 10th. Kenny Danny, Phil the Fluter, Gay Chance, Cumbie and Everett, and then Drumlargan, then Tracy's Special, and then Barra Hill Lad, then 14's Express. Coming to the water now. Number 11 of the 21 fences in all. Kenny Danny loses a little bit of ground just before the water, hampered by the loose horse there, but goes on again on the inside, Kenny Danny, from Phil the Fluter and Gay Chance, little between these three. Then comes Cumbie on the inside of Everett, with Tracy's Special on the outer. Just in behind them, Barra Hill Lad and Drumlargan, and then 14's Express. And then a gap to Lucky Vane, Sontilla Boy, and finally Cobbly Express. So over the far side for another complete circuit now. In the 1984 Hennessy Gold Cup, coming towards the 12th, Phil the Fluter, from Kenny Danny and Gay Chance, then comes Everett and Cumbie, then Tracy's Special, a good jump by Barra Hill Lad on the inside, then Drumlargan and 14's Express going quite strongly in behind them. The third of the 4 ditches now, Phil the Fluter, from Gay Chance, Kenny Danny and Cumbie and Everett, and another good jump by Barra Hill Lad on the inside. Then comes Tracy's Special and Drumlargan and 14's Express. Coming to the 14th now. Cobbly Express has pulled up. Phil the Fluter jumped it in the lead. From Kenny Danny and Cumbie and Everett, and then Barra Hill Lad on the inside. And Gay Chance right up there with the lead now. At the 15th. Phil the Fluter from Gay Chance. A mistake there by Barra Hill Lad, the top weight. Phil the Fluter from Gay Chance, Kenny Danny. Then comes Cumbie, then Everett. 6 from home this. Then Barra Hill Lad, then Tracy's Special, Drumlargan and 14's Express. So racing now with 5 left to jump towards the cross fence, and as they do so, it's Phil the Fluter in the lead, Kenny Danny on the inside, Gay Chance right up there on the far side, Cumbie still in contention, so is Everett just in behind him, and then Barra Hill Lad and Tracy's Special making very good progress, Drumlargan making heavy weather of it, and then comes 14's Express as they come to the cross fence now. Gay Chance on the outside of Phil the Fluter. Then comes Cumbie, Tracy's Special, and Kenny Danny. Phil the Fluter from Gay Chance there, Cumbie in third, Tracy's Special still making ground. Then comes Kenny Danny. Behind Kenny Danny is Barra Hill Lad, and then Everett, then Drumlargan, and 14's Express making ground. Racing now into the home straight with 4 left to jump now, coming to a plain one. Phil the Fluter over on the far side, Kenny Danny, the sheepskin nose band in the center, Barra Hill Lad trying to sneak up on the far rail, Gay Chance well there. Tracy's Special, then comes Everett just in behind him, and as they jump this one, Gay Chance on the near side. Gay Chance with the margin advantage now from Tracy's Special, and over on the far side Phil the Fluter, and still trying to come there Barra Hill Lad. This is the final ditch. Gay Chance and Kenny Danny jump it together. Over on the far side, Barra Hill Lad still making significant progress. It's Kenny Danny now on the near side as Gay Chance loses ground quickly. Kenny Danny on the near side, Barra Hill Lad on the far side. Barra Hill Lad lands in the lead. Barra Hill Lad in the lead now from Kenny Danny, Gay Chance, as they race now towards the final fence in the Hennessy, and it's the top weight Barra Hill Lad and John Frankham from Kenny Danny. This is the final fence now. Barra Hill Lad clear. He jumps it clear and jumps it well. Kenny Danny jumps it second, and Gay Chance jumps it third. Racing into the closing stages, and it's Barra Hill Lad putting up a tremendous performance here to become the 5th successive favourite to win the Hennessy Gold Cup as he strides up towards the line. Barra Hill Lad is the winner. Second is Kenny Danny. It's going to be close for third, with Gay Chance just holding on to third place ahead of 14's Express, who was fourth, and then came Lucky Vane and Cumbie in a photo for 5th, and behind them came Everett, and then behind him Phil the Fluter, the long-time leader, and then Tracy's Special, and so a great performance by the Gold Cup winner, Barra Hill Lad, the first to compete in the Hennessy, the first Gold Cup winner to compete in the Hennessy since 1971, when the winner of the Gold Cup on that occasion, Lescargo, finished 6th. But Barra Hill Lad has won the 1984 Hennessy and the 28th running at 130. An amazing sequence for the favourites. The result, First, number 1, Borough Hill Lad, owned by Mr. Stan Riley, trained by Mrs. Jenny Pittman and ridden by John Frankham. Second, number 5, Canny Danny, owned by Mr. Petrie Norton, trained by Jimmy Fitzgerald and ridden by Peter Scudamore. Third, number 4, Gay Chance, owned by Mrs. M. Curtis, trained by Mrs. Mercy Rymel and ridden by Sam Moorehead. Fourth was number 10, Fortina's Express. That was the result. Here's how they raced into the closing stages, reviewed by Julian Wilson.
And this is one of the great Hennessy winning performances under 12 stone in really searching ground. And John Frankham took it up at the second last. He's threaded his way through on the inside, rises first there as Phil the Fluter in the red colours comes to the end of his tether. A really tired horse there and just got away with that. Canny Danny, who's battled on, always been in the first 4. He's in second place now. Gay Chance, you can see, made a mistake at that second last as well. And there are really tired horses behind. But Borough Hill Lad, if he is tired, he's not showing it. And he's got the virtuoso Frankham to help him and come to this last with the race won, barring a fall. And no better man to put him at the last with 5 lengths to spare over his nearest rival. Meets it absolutely spot on, puts in a mighty leap, not the leap of a tired horse at all, and comes away to win a famous race to terrific cheering all round. Remember, only Arkle and Millhouse have won this race with 12 stone before, and now Borough Hill Lad has done it to show himself a real champion. Canny Danny's run a marvellous race. For me, he looked the most attractively handicapped horse in the race, and it seemed as though at the weights Borough Hill Lad had an impossible task. Well, nothing's impossible when you've got greatness on your side and when you've got John Frankham in the saddle, and this, make no mistake, was one of the great Hennessy performances.
So the champion, John Frankham, returning after his 60th triumph of the season on his second successive Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup. Won it last year on Brown Chamberlain. And Jenny Pittman following her hero there, following the 1984 Cheltenham Gold Cup winner, who's now completed this marvellous double. Borough Hill Lad, officially the 4 lengths winner with 20 lengths separating second and third, and the starting prices as follows.
Best number 1, Borough Hill Lad, 130 favourite. Second, number 5, Canny Danny, 13-2. And third, number 4, Gay Chance.